Welcome to the TUE Brew Review. This week we are checking out Chicago Tavern beer. This is made by Haymarket Beer Company, which of course has a location in Chicago, but also has a place in Western Michigan. So this beer is meant to represent kind of the old school Chicago neighborhood dive bar culture and the beers that were served there. So actually, as much as Chicago is a world-class city in terms of its museums and its dining and its entertainment, it definitely has a neighborhood dive bar culture that frankly was cultivated by our friends to the north up in Milwaukee. You had all the growing breweries up there in the late 19th and earliest 20th centuries, Miller and Old Style and Blatz and Schlitz and Gettleman's, Cream City, etc. They supplied a lot of the beer into Chicago, and a lot of the breweries of the day had what were called tied houses, where the bars that the brewery would actually own. So you'd have a street corner, and every street corner, one corner would be the tied house that served Miller, one would be serving Old Style, one would be serving Blatz, one would be serving Schlitz, or some combination thereof. And that dive bar culture has stuck around even past Prohibition here. Gosh, 100 years later, you can still walk into a plethora of Chicago dive bars and enjoy one of these kind of light, crisp American style lagers. And this is made to represent that. So let's go ahead and get into this guy. We've got a 12-ounce can. It's got the nice Chicago colors based on the Chicago flag with the white and the blue and the red stars. If you've ever seen the city of Chicago flag, that looks familiar. This is called a lager. So my guess it's a relatively light pale lager, and 5.5% ABV, so very crushable. And hey, shout out to my nephew Alex, who provided me with this beer. Thank you. So let's go ahead and crack this guy open. So as one would expect, we've got a nice see-through gold to yellow color. It's a beautiful looking beer. You can see the nucleation of the bubbles, or hopefully you can see that, the bubbles releasing and rising to the top. So you get kind of a nice white thin head that's going to quickly dissipate. Oh yeah, and you get those really nice aromatics of like sweet corn, like a sweetness, almost like a honey-like sweetness in the aromatics. And I can smell the CO2 from the bubbles. So got some good aromatics going on. Cheers. Nice sweet malt flavor. So the flavor, the aroma and the flavor are tied at the hip. And once again, we're getting that kind of a sweet corn, but almost like a honey-like sweetness. So it's got a little bit more profound sweetness. But I also like, this has actually got a nice little kick of a nice clean hop bite to it. Yeah, I really like how they've dialed up the hops. It's definitely nothing approaching an IPA, but it definitely cleans up that sweetness in the grain bill. Light bodied as it should be, but not too light. I would call this kind of in the neighborhood of like a Dortmunder type of beer. Dortmund, Germany, they made Helle style beers or Pilsner style beers that were just a little bit stronger, but still very crushable, very drinkable, 5.5% ABV. And this definitely reminds me of a Dortmund style lager. So really nice hop bite, but still very refreshing. Definitely a tweener between kind of that Euro Pils and the standard American adjunct lagers. So man, yeah, you get a chance, check this beer out. Great flavors, but very refreshing. So it's a Chicago Tavern beer. Chicago tends to borrow a lot of different things from Wisconsin, whether it's beers for dive bars or baseball managers. Chicago owes quite a bit to our neighbors to the north. So check it out. Cheers.